Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS148, and today is Thursday. I got to install Windows 11 on here, September 11th, no, September 1st. And so this is a second class, and let me share my screen. No, not that one. It's number 1. All right, I'll get this out of the way. Okay, so today we are gonna make this kind of big then. So I think I said to you that I was gonna do these lab activities and for chapter 1. We did oh no, for chapter 7. That's right, we're in chapter 7. And you guys already know about all the way zyBooks works. I'm gonna do the lab activities, and I said I was gonna do them before this class today, but I didn't quite get to them because I had to catch up on some other stuff. But I will do them. But today I'm just gonna go to so I like to use the class sessions to sort of breeze through the textbook to make sure you understand what all the sections are and get you started on all the participation activities, the challenge activities, and so on. And then I can help you so you understand what exactly they're asking for in the labs, and then I'll save the labs for a different video. So the idea is that you can try to do the labs first, and oftentimes, or I mean, after you get good at this stuff, it'll probably be faster for you just to sit down and figure out and do the labs yourself because they're not really very long. But if you're still stuck, if you're stuck, there will be a video for you to help get you through. And so the way I kind of look at this is ITS 128 and ITS 148. They're classes for you to learn about coding, learn about Python. You write Python code, and by the end, if you're still someone that really needs a lot of help to get your code to work and to get things to run, then maybe not a coding job, maybe not coding is quite the right job for you, but maybe something more like a systems analyst, where you know about coding, you've coded. Coding's not really your thing, but you understand it. You know how what goes on in the mind of a coder, but you also are interested in. But where your expertise comes in is understanding the application that the customer wants, or that maybe you're the customer, and explaining that to the people that are going to write the code, because sometimes they're not as good at reading and understanding exactly what needs to be done. That's kind of why I like to go through the problems first, just to make sure you understand, so you're not spending your time trying to solve a different problem. All right, so let's go to chapter 2. And so I've opened up the textbook here, and I don't know what that means. And so chapter 2, oh no, never mind. Well, wait, are we in the right? No. I'm also teaching 128 this semester, so I get these. We're in chapter 8. Did we finish? You probably remember, but I just gonna make sure I usually make a habit of this, of going quickly looking at the last video. Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is all right. Today I'm actually sitting in the place that the background of this is, but I have it blurred out though. So let me go up to here. I always put a whole bunch there. We can 7.6. Oh, string. Oh, okay. Using dictionary. Okay, yeah. So you were gonna ask. I said you should go through those, and oh no, those are the labs. Oh no, I guess we did get all the way to the end. All right. So so that's good. Yeah, that's good. So I will do these in shorter labs. Okay, so next, lists. Lists is the list data structure in Python is very powerful. It's built in. It operates a lot like an array. It operates and what I mean by it operates like an array is that it's easy to access any element in the list if you know its index, if you know what number it is from the beginning, and the addressing is instantaneous. Okay, so it's not like it's got to start at the beginning and go from one to the next to the next to the next to the next until it finds the one you're looking for. It's instantaneous. But also the Python list provides methods for you so you can manipulate the list like a regular in Java it's called an array list, but in regular programming languages, in computer science, before they add these built-in data types in these fancy new languages that started coming out in the 1990s, back before then they were just called linked lists. And a linked list is a data structure where it's really easy to traverse through the list, going from one to the next. But if I give you just some random indexing and I say, go get me the 450th element in the list, then with a linked list, you actually have to start at the beginning and shift, traverse down 450. Anyway, let's take a look at these lists here. And that's right, I keep forgetting, you guys have had all this stuff already in 128, and basically I'm just here to reinforce this stuff. So here we've talked about a list, how it's stored in memory, and you have already gone through this. Make sure you understand how this works here. Print animal 2 would be bird. And is it asking you to do that enter thing? Guess not. Well, okay. Here are some common list operations. This is how you can create a list. You just say the name of your list is going to be equal to the list, and this is how you write a list with square brackets. Here you can create a list by using this list method. Kind of confusing, and you put something like this in there, and it's going to split it up into the separate characters and so on. So these are very convenient ways that are built in to manipulate lists, to create lists and so on, how you would do them, or how you will likely be doing them when you're writing code in the future. This, of course, it's just like strings. This is how you can splice out some elements of the list from the start index up to, but not including, the end index, like this. None of these are available in any other language that I know of. It's kind of unique about Python. When we teach this stuff in Java, we actually have to have a whole new section on linked lists and how you write code. We learn to write code to do all of these manipulating functions that are just built into Python. And that's one of the reasons why people think Python is so great, because they don't have to really learn that stuff. They learn it by doing it. They don't have to learn it by having to write the code to implement it. All right, so go through these. See, you are not getting credit for clicking through the participation activities. So what I should be doing in this class is going directly to the challenge activities and helping you with those. So let me do that. All right, we've got 8.1.1 here is enter the output for the list. This is so simple, isn't it? Output. Oh, well, I'm not sure how this works. Do you print the brackets? Get these languages mixed up. Okay, so when I'm printing colors, it prints, I guess it prints like this, doesn't it? So it prints the square brackets. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do this. Copy, paste, enter. Does it put spaces there too? Yes, it does. Yes, very good. Let's do a harder one. Let's do 3. Yeah, see, students can do this. No, students cannot do this, but I can. All right, what's 3? So I start out with a list that looks like this. I'll make this bigger. I start out with a list that looks like this. It's got 3, 6, and 8 in it. And then for the to the zeroth index, which is the 3, I want to add 1 to it. See, there's this on both sides. And then to the second one, or to the index number 2, which is the third one, I want to add 2 to it. So, and then I want to print it out. So I guess it would be, and lists are mutable. Lists are mutable. I was just explaining mutable to 128 last time. Kind of a weird word the first time you hear about it, unless you've lived through COVID and you learn and you know about mutations. Mutations means they change. If they had a virus that was immutable, then we wouldn't have to worry about it changing and having new variants. Anyway, so let's do this. Quit getting sidetracked. 4, comma, space 6 this middle one seems to be left alone. And this one, this 8 gets 2 added to it. And then I guess I should press the enter key because otherwise it. All right, let's do the last one. User values. Oh, this one it starts out with 2, 4, and 8. So I'm going to start out with the 2, 4, 8. And then to the 0th one, it adds whatever the one's in the first one. So this one, 4 gets added to it. So I'm going to make that a 6. And then to user values 1, which is this one, the one that's in 2 gets added to it. So that's the 8. So this one turns into a 12. And then I better make sure to put this here, otherwise it doesn't like it. Oh, what did I do wrong? 2 plus 4. Did I say 2 plus 4 is 12? Did I say 2 plus 4 is 12? I guess I must have. Why did I say that? Anyway, let's do this again. It's going to tell me I have to do it again. All right. We have a 2. Okay. The first, oh. All right, so we start out with 2, 5, 8. And then do that. And then we need to number 2, which is this one. I'm supposed to add what is in 0. And what is in 0 is 2. So I guess this turns into a 10. And then 0, wait a second. See what I'm doing wrong? I'm adding, and I'm not just setting them equal, okay? I'm reading more into the problem than there really is. That's the trouble when I don't go through all these before I come and start talking to you about it. This simply says, take whatever this value is and put it in this value. So let's start over. It starts out being 2, good thing they give you as much time as you need for these things. So that's why I got it wrong last time. So let's take 2, for instance. That's this one. We're supposed to replace that one with this. So if we replace this with this, then this becomes 2. And then for this one, we replace 0 with 1. So this is 1, so we replace 0 with 1, so this just becomes 5. I think this is right. All right. Okay, what's this one? Modify short names by deleting the first element and changing the last element to Joe. What? Deleting the first element and changing the last element to Joe. How do you delete an element of a list? Well, I think there's various ways you can delete elements to the list, but I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna say, okay, so we read in Sam, Ann, and Joe. And when we print Sam, Ann, and Joe, we get this. Oh, I get it. We input Gertrude, Sam, Ann, and Joseph. And we get rid of the first one, and then we leave this alone, but we turn the last one into Joe. So how about this? Short names equals short names starting with the first one and then going all the way to the end. See if that works. That'll work with strings. I bet it will work with lists too. And then I gotta say whatever the last one is, which I know is now number 2. I could do it this way. Let's see if this works. First I do this. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, well, it worked. So the first thing is I said the whole list of short names is what the current list of short names is now, but start at 1, don't start at 0. See, if I were to just do this, then that'd be the whole list. If I were to do yeah, but I don't. I want to do this. And the fact that I don't put anything there just means that I'm going all the way to the end. Now, what I could have done was I could have done this. I could have done 1 and then I do -1. So that's going to get rid of the first one and the last one. And then instead of this, I should just be able to do, how do you append onto a list? Use the word append. I get these data structures mixed up. Append is not the right way to do it. How do you add on to the end of a list? It must have said so in here somewhere. So if you guys weren't here right now, I would pause the, oh, maybe someone's giving me a hint here. I didn't look at the chat. Popped. That's to take one off, right?
Yeah, just a 0.
Yeah. Okay. So can I oh, here, I'm just gonna do this. Python add to end of list. Append. Oh, I gotta use parentheses. Use parentheses, come on. What's the matter with me? Parentheses. It's a method. It's a method. It's not, I'm not indexing an array called append. Append is a method, and when you want to, I want to send an argument to the method, and a method is parentheses. The argument I'm sending it is Joel. So this should work. Yeah. All right, list methods. So this talks about other, oh, there's append. Extend adds all items of X. See, this is a list. This is just an element. This is a list because it's got braces around it. This inserts a list at 0 or at the element that is pop in here. Yeah, it is. Oh, use popped. Yeah, pop. It should be pop. All right. So anyway, so let's go to is there any challenges here? Here's a challenge. Sort short names in reverse alphabetical order. Sample output. All right, so how do you sort in reverse alphabetical order? There must be a sort method, and there must be an argument you can give the sort method to that's just called refer. Is that right? Is that easy? Okay. All right, where is that? Okay, so input that, and I'm supposed to just short names reverse. Is that all? No, it's not. Okay, so I'm not reading the whole thing. Sort the name. Oh, I know. First I have to sort it, then I gotta reverse it. I bet you that's it. Of course. Reversing, just reverse it. Reversing doesn't reverse sort it. Reversing just reverses it. So first I have to sort it. Let's get my fingers in the right place. First I want to sort it, then I want to reverse what I just sorted so it's a reverse sort. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, iterating over a list. Use indexing. Oh, you can for token in tokens. Okay, so use this for thing, and it starts at the beginning and it just gives them to you one at a time. That way you don't need to use an index. Here's another way to do it. For index in the range, this is what you're iterating through. You're iterating through this nums list, and the length of it is this is the length of it, and range means from 0 up to that number in here -1. And so this is going to do index in that range, so it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to the range. And so here you're referring to, or you're referencing the list elements by an index. Here, if you use the other way, you're picking them off one at a time, sort of thing. This thing. All right, where's what is the list supposed to look? Well, list is 1, 2, 3. Print all the list is 1, 2, 3. This is true because there's no 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So this is it's fun to run these things to sort of see what because you have to put print statements in here. All right, write a loop to populate the list with a number of guesses. The variable num guesses is the number of guesses that the user will have, which is read first as an integer. Read each guess one at a time using input in. All right, so you're supposed to, the first input is, okay, well, this is a challenge, it's not a lab, so you don't enter data, but the input that looks like this just means there's going to be three numbers, and these are the numbers. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. And so these are guesses. And so you're saying, I guess you're supposed to this seems number of, well, first you're reading the number of guesses, and then you have an empty list for I in range of num guesses. Num guess, no, user guesses, UESSs dot append parentheses, whatever you read in. Oh, we got to use this int thing, input thing. And I bet you they want us to use int input. Okay, so we're reading an input. We are reading an input from the user. We are converting that input to an integer. And then we are appending that integer. We are appending that integer onto this user guess list. Is this right? What didn't it do? User guess is not, I must have spelled something wrong. Let's see. Will it let me take the SESs off here? No. All right. Okay. What's next? Assign some extra with the total extra credit received given the total extra credit received given list test grades. Iterate through the list with using this. Okay, so that's how I'm going to iterate through the list. I'm going to have a list called test grades, and I'm going to pull test grades off one at a time. And when I'm inside this loop and I refer to that test grade that I just pulled off, I'm going to refer to it with this variable name. The code uses this to split the string at each space into the list of values, and the map function, what did I just do? The map function to convert each string value into an integer. Oh yeah. Map function. Am I not reading something right again? Map function. Max function. Well, I'm going to read this again. Let me open up my All right, well, I'm gonna try to do the problem, and maybe I don't need to figure out what the map function is if I do the problem. All right, so I'm inputting, here's the map function. Use. Okay, so here's what the map function is doing. Wait a second. Oh, okay, I guess this is what it's doing. Have we learned about, we haven't learned about complications yet? Comprehensions? Okay, later we're gonna learn how to do comprehensions, which is what this map function is doing. That's why I didn't know what it was. Oh, map function. Okay, you have an iterable, and you have an iterable, and this map function is applied to each one of them, and so it looks like this. So we read in a string of looks like digits of test grades, and separated by spaces, and so we read them in here. We read them in here. So it's just one big long string with test scores separated by spaces. And then we want to split them by spaces. So that's what this does. And so what this does is it gives you an array. No, I'm sorry, it's a list of those test scores. You know, if there are 5 test scores, you know, there's a list of five elements in the list. And then what this does is this maps each one of those test scores, which is a string of characters, and maps them into an integer, so they become integers, and it's a list of integers. So this whole big thing here reads in those test grades and converts them into a list, or takes this string, a single string, and converts it into a list of an integer list of test grades. All right, then what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to what is this? Everything over 100 is extra credit. I see. So if you read in this, when it sees the 101, it's going to add 1 and 0, 7, 0. Okay, 0 is okay. So, all right. So I need to do a for loop for each score in test grades. If score is great, I've initialized some extra. That's good. If score is greater than 100, then sum extra equals sum extra plus 100 minus score. So that'll be the excess, and that's what gets added into sum extra. And I think that's all we need to do. Let's see. No, I forgot to do something. What did I forget to do? It should be 100. It should be score minus 100. Did someone tell me? Okay. I got to keep an eye on my chat there, Steve, because I know you give me the answers. Sometimes I'm not paying attention. All right. So I could say with score minus 100, or I'm just going to be really super lazy and go, I'm going to do minus 2. No, don't do that. Just do score minus 100. Score minus 100. All right, so that worked. Here's another one. Write a loop to print all elements in the hourly temperature. Separate elements with a, oh, I see. Okay, so I guess we're reading in some temperatures. So first we read in hourly temperature. First we read some input. Then we read in and we get this. And then we're going to split it by the spaces. So we end up with an array. Oh, no, that's not like that. A list of integers that look like this. And we want to print them out with a dash arrow after each one except for the last one. Or we want to put a dash arrow before each one except for the first one. So which do you want to do? Well, I like I don't know, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna do this. Let's see. 4. Now, do I need to convert them into integers? No, I don't. Oh, 95 is followed by a space. What? It doesn't have to be followed by a space. Well, they do that because they want you to do it in a particular way, but it doesn't matter just as long as it's followed by a space. All right, so I'm gonna do 4 oh, I'm gonna do it this way. Do I need to do 4 for index, I'm just use the word index, in the range of 1 to the length of user input minus 1. Is that how you do the length method? Well, I'll find out. It'll give me an error. It'll give me an error. Is it len or length? It's in half the languages are len and the other half languages are gth. In Excel it's len. So maybe in Python it's lench. Python length of list. That's even a better one. It is length. The full. Oh no, it's len. It's len. Okay. And okay, so oh, but before I do that, I'm gonna say print user input of 0. Why does it want me to put the space there? It's weird that it doesn't want me to put the space there. Well, I'm just gonna put the damn space there. Okay, so now I've printed out user with a space after it. I'm doing this brute force, aren't I? But and then so I printed out the first one, and I'm going to print from the 0th index, and I'm going to print out from the first index up to the rest of them, and I'm going to do print. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I know why they want me to do that. So I can do this, comma, end equals space. That's why I knew they were doing that to make it easier for me in some way. So now I'm going to do print, same thing, user input of I, starting at index 1. Oh, no. Print that, comma. I'm gonna put it here. No. First, I'm gonna print this, comma, this. Oh, that's why. Comma this again. And equals this. And then at the end, I gotta print like that. Okay, so you see what I did? First, I printed out. Do I have a blackboard here? I don't have a blackboard thing. I don't. Okay, so first I printed okay, so user input is going to look like it's going to look like 90 comma 92 comma 94 comma 95. I mean, these are actually all character strings, so we don't have to worry about translating. And then when I start printing these things out, the first thing that prints out is the zero, the zeroth element, the first element, which is going to be which is going to be 90 with this F followed by a space, because it's going to end in a space, but it's not going to do a return. And then it's going to do this 3 times. It's going to do it for, it's going to do dash, dash this, space, index 1, which is 92, followed by space. And then it's going to do it again. It's going to do dash, arrow, space 94. And see, it prints a space after each of these. This prints a space. This prints a space. And then space, because end equals this. And then it's going to do dot, dot, and then the last space, and then 95 space, and then this. So let's see if it works. Let's see what I did wrong. Oh, because I called it I instead of index. Darn it. Is that the only place I call it I index? Okay. Hmm. Wow. Really? Oh, shoots. Stupid. I should be using this variable name, not this variable name. I should be using hourly temperature instead of user input. So user input here should be hourly temperature. Hourly temperature is the array, not user input. Not paying attention. Oops, this should be E. 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 Oh, it's right. It doesn't, I don't need to do the -1 because it doesn't, just, that's a good guess. When you didn't get them all, it's a good guess to take out, to make the range go one more. There, finally. Well, boy, that sure took a while. What time is it? Okay, let's list games. Is there a challenge in here or no? You can click through these to see what that is. List nesting. Oh, lists of lists. Sure, you can have lists of lists. Let's do a challenge. Okay, lists of lists. Print the two-dimensional list mult table by row and column. On each line, each character is separated by space. Hint: use nested loops. Okay. So you got something like this: 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9, and you want to print out 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. Okay, so we're gonna read it in, and then we're gonna split it, and we're gonna call it lines. Okay, so this is gonna be one line split by the comma. So this is gonna be one line, this is gonna be 2 lines, and this is gonna be 3 lines. So on the inside loop, we're gonna split with a space. We're just gonna do the plain old split. Oh, that's what this is. Okay, so it's taking care of this for you. Mult table. This is chapter 8.5. Did we cover? We haven't covered comprehensions yet. This is comprehensions. They're getting ahead of it. Did they talk about it up here? No, they didn't. I think that they're putting this here because you don't have to do it. It's doing it for you, but you're going to learn about this here in list comprehensions. It's pretty cool. There's nothing like this in any other language. All right, so what this does is this is going to take the line. Oh, for line and lines. Okay, so we have lines here. Okay, so there's lines. There's 3 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, and 3, 6, 9. Those are the 3 lines. And so for each one, 1, 2, and 3, for each one, we'll start with the first one. We take that line and we go inside here now. We're going to go inside here and we're going to do that for line. So what do? We take line and we split it, and this time we're splitting it by the spaces, and we're calling each one a num, calling it num. Okay, and it's still a character, it's still a string because this is a whole string. So it's string splitting up into strings, splitting it up into strings, and then we're going to make an integer out of it. Okay, so this is going to end up being a list of integers. And we're going to do that for each line, and that's how this mult table is going to turn out. So we have to somehow print it out looking like this, and it's going to look something like wow. All right, well, I'm just going to start guessing here. It's 225. Okay, 4, for I in range of 3. For j in range of 3. Print mult table of I of j we have to use a 2-dimensional. All right, I'm gonna do it this way instead. -1, 2. And here I'm gonna put print that, comma, print that. No. Okay, that, so that's gonna do the first 2. Then I'm gonna do the last one, which is just gonna be print mult table. Oh, this gotta be I and J. J. I, comma, oops, not comma. Now I can do J. I think I can do J because J is gonna increment, and then the way this for loop works is it starts out with J equals 0, and it does this for J equals 0, and then it increments J and it goes back up to here and it checks to see if the new J is past the range. It's not, so it does 1, and then it comes back and increments J and it sees if J is past this. It is past this, so then it skips out, and J has that new value that caused it to skip out. So I'm just gonna put that there because I think it's still gonna have that value. And I don't think I need to put anything this like that. I don't even think I need to, I'm just gonna print a new line, and I'm gonna see if this works. Okay, I did not do what I said, what I thought I was gonna do. So it did not increment it. So I'm gonna increment it +1. Whoa. Oh, what? Oh, it's because I did this. I can't set it for the range of that. Okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do um let's see, len. What happens if I do range of 3 multi-table len? Did I say it was len or length? You remember? Length of must be len. Yeah, it must be len. That's a different color. Length of mult table this. No, I think it's gotta be like this. I don't know if this is gonna be right. Okay. Well, now let me try to explain why this works. It's so when I ask for the length of mult table, okay, so mult table has got rows and columns. The first index is rows, and the second index is columns, I think. And so when you're just doing this, then you're asking for how many. No, I'm sorry. You're at, okay, when you're doing this, you're asking for the number of indexes for the first index. Okay, for the first index. And when you're doing this, you're asking for the number of index of the second index when I is equal to when the first index is equal to I. And so so here we're looking for, if we look at this like an array like this, the length of mult table is going to be this is the first, these are the columns, these are the second indexes, and these are the first indexes. So the first index is going to be, it's the number of these rows, 3 rows. You know, we should change this so we can get them straight. But this one is just looking for the number of rows. And then this one, this is going to be going through 1 row at a time. Okay, because when I is 0, it's going through the first row. When I is 1, it's going through the second row, and I is 2, it's going through the third row. So okay, so when I is 0, then this executes, and this length is going to be the number of rows in the first column. I know, no, the number of columns in the first row. So because when I is 0, we're talking about the first row, then this thing is going to say the length of the number of columns in that row. So it's 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 3, and then we're subtracting 1 from it. It'd be easier to see if we had a different number of rows and columns, and maybe sometime in the future we'll look at that. But for now, let's see, we've finished list nesting. We've got a little bit more to go in loops. And so I got some catching up to do, but it's the end of this class today. And so I'll very likely do a video in between now and next time. If you have any questions, just email me. If you'd like me to include anything, if you're working along and you want me to include something in a video, even if it's from the past, you can just go ahead and ask me and I'll do it. All right. Any more questions?
Thanks, Professor. You know, the journey, the way you take us through is sometimes just as important as the destination. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's good. Thanks. That's good to hear. All right. I'll see you next time. Take care.